What was it like being away, and what is it like to be back and get a nice victory like that over Anthony Pettis?
It's Nick Diaz Army.
All in all, UFC 241 turned out to be one of the best cards of the year, with two top middleweights fighting for a #1 contender spot, to Nate Diaz making his octagon return after a 3-year layout. And then the rematch between arguably the two best heavyweights on the planet. UFC 241 was a real treat for all of us MMA fans. So for this recap, we'll be taking a look at the 3 main fights that took place at UFC 241 and going over exactly what happened during those fights. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Now, without further ado, here's exactly what happened at UFC 241. So, the first fight we'll be taking a look at was the matchup between former #1 contender Yoel Romero and the undefeated Paulo Costa. This was the third fight that took place on the main card of UFC 241, and it was simply an all-out war. The fight delivered on all expectations, as both men scored early knockdowns at the start of the first round. While it was Costa who seemed to be keeping the pressure on during the first 2 rounds, Romero absorbed the strikes well, and continuously followed up with some hard shots of his own. The third round is where Romero really shined, hurting Costa with solid combinations as he looked to finish him. Although he was unsuccessful in that attempt, the 42-year-old proved that age hasn't slowed him down. In the end, it was Costa who walked away with the decision win, and whether you agree or disagree with that decision, one thing is for certain, there was no real loser in this fight. Now, with an impressive win over someone as dangerous as Yoel Romero, it's possible that Costa will be next in line to challenge for the middleweight title. Next, we had the co-main event, which featured the highly anticipated return of Nate Diaz, facing off against former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis. Despite a 3-year layoff, with his last fight coming against Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz looked better than ever in his UFC return. Although Pettis landed some hard shots early in the first, it was Diaz's relentless pressure that gave him the advantage. Overall, Nate Diaz showed superior boxing and grappling as he stalked Pettis during all 3 rounds. He even came close to finishing Pettis after landing some devastating knees. Despite Anthony Pettis opening a nasty cut over the right eye of Nate Diaz, that never seemed to stop Diaz from keeping on the offense until the final bell. To Anthony Pettis' credit, he managed to weather the storms and continue in the fight. Unfortunately, he just couldn't keep up with the pace that Nate Diaz brings. When it was all said and done, it was Diaz who walked away with the unanimous decision victory, and to the delight of many fans, proceeded to call out Jorge Masvidal.
I know my man's a gangster, but he ain't no West Coast gangster. You know what I'm saying?
This brings us on to our main event, in which we saw heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier attempt to make his second title defense in a rematch against former heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic, with Cormier getting the better of Stipe Miocic in their first encounter. Oddsmakers gave Daniel Cormier the edge to win this fight. The first 3 rounds appeared to favour Daniel Cormier, who managed to take down Miocic and looked like getting the better of the exchanges. The majority of the fight saw both men stand toe-to-toe with each other as they continuously traded heavy shots. By the 4th round, Miocic finally began to pick up steam, landing some brutal body shots to the side of Cormier. He used that momentum to eventually rock Cormier with a solid right hand and proceeded to swarm him as he stumbled backwards. From there, Miocic landed a barrage of punches until the referee stepped in to stop the fight. It was a phenomenal finish from Stipe Miocic, regaining his title in spectacular fashion, all while avenging his first loss to Daniel Cormier. Now, whether Cormier decides to retire remains unclear, so we'll just have to wait and see where this goes from here. Perhaps we can expect a third fight between them, but only time will tell. So there's your recap of UFC 241. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.
Never have a doubt, do you like me now? Am I good enough now? Should I get more loud? Till you hear the fucking sound? Oh no, I'm losing my shit again, having to fit again. Man, I'm forgetting when I used to have some friends. I used to play pretend, we all grow up and then hating my phone and trends. I'm about to blow my head, nobody knows I'm dead. Fear I'm a ghost instead, think that I'm close close, I get straight comatose in bed. Try to go slow with breath, breathe out my nose and head. Heart doesn't go the trend, faster it goes.